What up, 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 what up? It's Weeknights, everybody, and we're back.
Yep.
I'm Dash. This is JD, and
Oh no
we
no 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 no
we
no
make up Weeknights.
no. What's your AKA?
I'm Dash, aka Dashing D, aka Cool Grandma, but not really, aka the real king of R&B, aka Poof, Vamoose, son of a bitch.
Yep. Cursing on the intro. All right. Never getting monetized on YouTube. That's right.
All right, but you can't make me. You listen, okay? You tell me
Anyway,
to do it. You tell me to do the intro. I try to intro us. You don't like the way I introed us. I tried to say this is my co-host JG, aka He Who Pods,
no,
aka
I
He
don't
Who
want you
Got That
introing
Heat
me.
Coming,
I don't want you
aka
introing
the
me.
King of the Rabbit Hole, aka.
No, don't intro me. No. No more intros. You do
I
your
do.
intro and I do mine. Equality.
I like when I do your intro.
I never like when you do my intro. Never. Not once.
What was wrong with? I say nice things about you when I do your intro.
Okay, let's say nice things about Beyonce. Let's move on.
I don't understand. This is ridiculous.
That's
Okay.
what I think too.
This must be why Adam 22 and them broke up.
Adam 22.
I don't know. I just said a name. That's
Got
not
it.
one of the people that broke up.
Yeah, but let's leave that one there.
I mean, it's none of my business, but I'm just saying, it was a joke, and I guess it's not funny, so it's fine.
It's all good. Well, it's Monday. It's a weeknight, and so we are here. And as promised, we are going to review the shit out of Beyonce's Cowboy Carter album. If you don't want to hear anything about it, then have a good night, and we will see y'all tomorrow for the next episode of Weeknights.
Give me a quick peace sign. I just don't want balloons on my screen.
It's all good. So, yeah, that's what we're here to talk about today. We had the weekend to listen to it, bask in it, soak it up.
Because we're not those people who listen to it for 5 minutes and then post on the internet that we've listened to it and know all the words.
Oh, busting shots already. Got it.
It's just weird to me, and it's really difficult to like get into something or get excited about something when everybody's already telling you what the lyrics and the songs are, and it's just a lot. It's a lot, and it happens every time a Beyonce album comes out or every time a Drake album comes out, and it's really weird. Sorry, I'm not a part of the collective that does that, so I guess people be quoting lyrics at 45 minutes after the album drops. It's like,
They're excited.
did you listen to it? Because
Sometimes when you're listening, you catch a fire lyric. Come on, man.
of course, I'm not saying that that's not true. What I'm saying is, you know what? It doesn't matter what I say. I am the minority here. So
Oh, I'm not one of those people either. So you're not the minority. We're even on that. I don't listen to an album and start tweeting. I mean, I haven't tweeted in years at this point, but I don't listen to an album and start tweeting when I hear a fire line or go and immediately put the fire line in my story on Instagram. So I'm with you. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you hear a fire line.
you do. I admit that. I'm fine with finding a. What
I
you want?
didn't. My water's mad far. Continue.
Oh, now you're bad moves. Yeah, I'm totally fine with um getting excited about it. It's just when you're not there yet, like it's a lot. It becomes a lot. Like stay off the internet a lot. So
That's what you gotta do when a very popular movie or a very popular person, not movie, but when a very popular franchise drops a movie or when a very popular artist drops an album, if you're not gonna listen right away or go see it opening night, you gotta stay off the internet for a few days until you do your thing.
Yeah. But okay.
They're
Just
gonna tell you, they're gonna be like, I can't believe all three Spider-Men are on the screen right now as I watch this in the theater.
right. But that's what I'm talking about, right? Like it's in progress. You're not even done with it, and you're like 15 minutes after the Beyonce album dropped, people were like, "This is the best album I've ever heard in my entire life," and it's like, okay, all right, relax. Maybe it will be, but you haven't even finished it yet.
Right.
That's why it's weird to me. It's like, okay, we get it. Wonderful. And I don't have bad things to say about Beyonce. That's not what I'm alluding to. I'm just saying it's weird. It's like it's a weird 48 hours after she drops an album and on the internet, and it's everywhere, and it's people are weird about it. It's not her, it's them.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna get a lot of heat for saying that, but
I mean, I understand it. I see both sides. I think sometimes people are very excited, and so they tweet the very exciting thing that ruins it for other people. And I think other times people are just ODing because they want to ruin it for other people.
yeah. I think when it comes to Beyonce, if I'm being honest, it is more of like the community. You
There's a
good?
fly in here. Nah, there's
Oh,
a fly in here, and it
mm,
zipped right past me, went towards the camera, and then dipped off.
no, I
I
didn't
was
even
like,
see
oh, all right. Thought it was thought it was trying to give me a closer shave.
that. Yeah, yeah. I think that with Beyonce albums and even with Drake albums, I feel like those are the two where I see this happen. It's like we're listening, not we as in me, but I think the idea is that we're listening as a community.
Okay.
The community is far reaching. Obviously, it's not just people you know, it's everybody. But I think that's where it comes from. And that's why I try not to say too much about it, because if something brings people joy, I think it's fine. I just for me, it's not the way I process listening to new music. So it's irritating to me, I guess. But the
Okay.
reality of the situation is the fact that she can galvanize people in that way and have everybody across everywhere,
The multiverse.
the multiverse, have everybody in the multiverse talking about it moments after it drops, um, screenshotting lyrics um, and visuals. I know there's not really visuals, but um, Amazon actually does this really cool thing where it gives you facts as you listen to the music. I thought that was interesting. I got a little free trial from Amazon Prime. I said, let me check this out. And it gives you like it was giving me Beyonce facts. I thought that was interesting. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I think it's great that I think it's pretty incredible that there are people in this world that can get that many people to do that. But also a little weird for me. So yeah.
Yeah. Gotta stay off the internet for a day or two or three, whatever, until you've consumed the product.
Mhm.
And then do it. When certain movies come out, I got to do the same thing where I'm like, oh, I know I can't even get on certain parts of the internet because people are posting pictures and saying things I don't want to know. So I'm not going to even bother.
Yeah.
It's the smarter way to do it. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, you know, don't come see me in the comments, please. And just have your fun with Beyonce, however you want to have your fun. Just just my opinion. But anyway,
Well,
we got
let's get into your opinion.
well, let's get into yours. I talked a lot. What did you think of Cowboy Carter?
All right. Well,
Act two. Act two.
it doesn't even say Act 2. That's the interesting thing. It just says Cowboy Carter.
Does. but it is Act Two. And I
I know.
think that I think real quick, I think that what people got on vinyl or disc might be slightly different.
What makes you say that?
Like in the way that it was presented. Someone pointed out, someone on the internet, one of those people on the internet pointed out that one of the songs, I believe it's called My Love, or darn, I can't remember right now. But it's a song for Sir. And when you have the disc, it's actually called To My Sir or something like that. The person actually showed it on like showed it in a video.
That's interesting.
It's the same song though. I think on streaming it's called My Love.
I'm scrolling, looking at her album.
I
I
figured.
got nothing that even sounds like that.
Really? Unless I'm
Really.
saying the wrong title. I remember listening to the song. All right, I could look it up. I could look it up later, but I feel like it's on the first half of the album. Or Rose, My Rose.
My Rose.
There's My Rose. Okay. That's, yeah. So I think on the disc it says To Sir.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't say that on streaming.
Yeah, it says My Rose.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
That's interesting.
yes, very interesting. So that's what I mean when I say I think that maybe there were some differences. I don't know if the music is necessarily different, but maybe there were some things that they changed um after those things were printed. I don't know. I'm not
That
sure.
would be my assumption. My assumption would be that they printed them up, sent them out, and then made some changes for streaming.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So yeah. Anyway, carry on. What did you think of Act Two?
Well, first, I think it's interesting. I'll say it again. At first, I think it's interesting that it doesn't say Act Two. It just says Cowboy Carter.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's interesting. I think this was a long ass album. Uh, that
Yes.
was my first thought. I was like, oh, I got a few minutes. Let me throw on Beyonce, and then saw that shit was a hour and whatever. It's hold on. Let's be accurate here, actually, because it's open anyway on my phone. Might as well be accurate about how long it is. But I was like, holy shit, this is long.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 27 songs. It's an hour and 18 minutes. Beyonce is giving people their money's worth. That's what I thought, first of all. I said, wow, an hour and 18 minutes. That's a long time. That's a
That,
double disc, basically.
yeah, and that's decent when you're like putting out merch and people can buy like bundles of things and whatever. I say, hey, then make it worth their while. Like you said, people are getting their money's worth for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we have albums today that are 8 songs. So to get a 27 song Beyonce album, that is heavy right there. That's a couple albums. We talking that's at least 2, 3 albums right there.
Right. That's a whole year of good music albums.
Yep, that is true.
Do you
You
remember
are
that year?
I sure do. When he dropped 7 projects in like 7 weeks or whatever it was.
And they were all 7 songs.
They were all half hours, yep.
It was like,
They were all 31 minutes or something like that. Just enough to be considered an album according to the Grammy standards.
that's how we
And so
anyway.
we have pretty much 3 of those with this project,
Yeah.
just under that. So there was a lot of music to consume, and I have to be honest. The first try, I didn't like this album. The first try, I was like tired and was like, oh, all right, let me just put it on. 27 songs is a lot. Let me see what I could do. And I realized after like 5 songs, I am not in the mood to listen to this. I need to turn this off. And so I turned it off. And then I decided I'm going to wait about, we'll wait till I'm good and ready. And I got home from work and I was winding down and I said, I think I'm ready
Okay.
to listen to some Beyonce. And so I listened to Beyonce while I cooked and cleaned a bit at home with my daughter. And we
Hmm.
sat and we enjoyed, so it's 27 songs. We listened to 23 straight through.
Okay.
And then we had stuff to do, so we cut it off. But we said, we're going to come back first thing tomorrow
Hmm.
morning. It was evening. I said, it's first thing tomorrow morning. We're going to come back and finish this Beyonce album. And so we did. So that was Saturday evening. Sunday morning, we came back and we listened to those last 4 Beyonce songs. And we were like, okay, this was good. So, interesting tidbit that I'll share with the pod. Uh, my daughter knew Jolene, the original song.
Nice.
As soon as Jolene came on, she bust out singing Jolene. I was like, how you
Where'd
know
you
this
get that
already?
from?
Song been out 2 days. How you know this song?
Right.
And she said, wait, actually, this is not the one I know.
Mhm.
I know a different version. I was like, oh, maybe you know the original. And she was like, has to be because this is not it. And so I was like, all right. And so I kept playing it. And as it kept playing, she said, can you pause this? I said, sure. What's up? She said, why did she do this? She said, I don't like this one.
Ooh.
I said, oh, that's interesting. I thought
Okay.
it was good. That was interesting that she didn't like it. She was being a purist of sorts.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. But a couple days ago, weeks ago, something like that, not too long ago, when Beyonce said this is not a country album, it's a
Uh-huh.
Beyonce album. I said I didn't understand why she was saying that and why she didn't just drop the album. I'm gonna double down on that. There was
Really?
no need to say that. It was a country
Okay.
album. Like most of the 27 songs felt like a country song. Now, I'll be honest, before they kill me in the
Mhm.
comments, I don't consume country music. And I'm
I,
definitely not going to argue with someone who comes out and says, I've been listening to country for 30 years and these 6 songs are not country. And I don't know. Listen, what I know is
wait a minute. Were you doing an accent? Were you supposed to be doing a southern accent?
making fun of the country folks. Um,
Okay.
you know, you and your Tennessee whiskey, which I enjoy by the way, but you and your
I
Tennessee
love
whiskey,
Tennessee whiskey.
I'm not gonna argue with y'all. But what I will say is this had the bones of country music. And so yeah, sure, there was a song or two where she rapped and another one which were clearly dance music style.
Mhm.
But for the most part, it was country. So there was no need for Beyonce to come out and say, this is not a country album, it's a Beyonce album. Yes, it was a Beyonce album, sure. We know that anything that a big artist does, they're going to put their stamp on it. They're going to make sure that you feel their aura, their personality, their charisma, their writing style, their singing style, all of the above. So we knew that. And so I just want to double down on that because this was a country album.
Yeah. I mean,
So
hmm. I
go ahead.
kind of understand what she said when she said this is a Beyonce album. But I too didn't understand it when she said it. And it wasn't until I listened to it that I was like, I think I get it, even though I'm not well versed on all Beyonce albums. I haven't listened to them all, but I can understand why she said that to me. And I too do not listen to country music. I am not well versed in what country music is supposed to sound like versus what it's not supposed to sound like. I mean, and there's a asterisk on that because what something is not supposed to sound like is subjective. But I felt it. Like I felt that she put her own sauce on what she was doing. I do believe now, and I do have thoughts on have like some post thoughts on the this is not country music. This is not a country album. This is a Beyonce album. But I will say, before I even get to that, I will say that yeah, when I listened to it, I was like, okay, like it still has like that Beyonce sauce, that Beyonce swagger. She definitely put her own stamp on the music on this album, as she does on all the albums. She, I know she likes to do her little rap thing that she does. Maybe I shouldn't call it a little rap thing. I don't want to minimize, but she likes to do her rap thing that she does. There's certain songs where it's like, where it feels very much like if you take away the beat, it's not really country to me.
Right.
Like,
I can see that.
Riverdance. I mean, she's saying bounce on that shit dance. Like that could be
Yeah,
trash.
Riverdance was clearly one of the ones that were not country.
Yeah, that could be anything. You could put a trap beat on that, and
Yeah.
as people have done already. But you can put a lot of different beats behind that, and it becomes a different genre very easily. So I do think she kind of put her own stank on it, her own Beyonce sauce, which is cool. But yeah, I just wanted to make a note of that because you said it. So
Spaghetti is the song where she raps, right?
yes,
I
are you
just want to.
looking it up?
Am I what?
Are you looking it up?
I already looked it up while you were talking. I just wanted to make sure because I had a debate with somebody off pod. And on a podcast I listened to, they said the same thing and there was an argument. And I just want to say, it says right here in the writing credits, Sean Carter is one of the writers. Beyonce did not write that verse. For those who are confused, that is a Jay-Z verse performed by Beyonce. I just want people to understand, as a Jay-Z fan, um, y'all need to stop. I'm glad that she is Beyonce, but understand that she ain't
You're glad
stupid.
that she is Beyonce.
I'm glad she's Beyonce and people are excited about the fact that Beyonce did a rap record, more than one. But I need y'all to
I was just
understand,
about to say she raps
Beyonce,
on all her albums, doesn't she?
no. But I need y'all to understand that
Doesn't?
Beyonce, no. But I need y'all to understand Beyonce's not the one writing these raps. It's her very excellently skilled husband, who is a great writer. Um,
Did she not rap on the last few albums that she released?
but you said every album.
Okay, but I'm talking about like in recent years. I don't mean like Dangerously in Love.
Okay,
She's
my
since
point is,
they did On the Run or whatever, hasn't there always been a rap verse on her?
my
Maybe it was
point
just
is,
before On the Run.
sure, my point is, every time you hear it and it's Beyonce rapping, it's one writer. It's Jay-Z.
Okay. But okay, never mind. I never thought that Beyonce
People
was
think
writing her
that
own rap.
Beyonce wrote this verse, and I'm saying no, she did not write this verse.
She
She did an
also
excellent job performing it. She
mhm.
bodied the cadence, the delivery,
She's usually
everything, the
good at it.
flow, bodied it. But just understand, Beyonce's not out here writing the raps, okay? So,
I mean, that's pretty obvious.
well,
Oh,
people,
newsflash!
Beyonce
Newsflash!
fans think not.
Let me really blow people's minds. She doesn't write all her songs either.
Which is what I was about to say, because also here it says Terrius the Dream. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name,
Oh,
Damien.
the Dream writes a lot of her music.
Right. And so
A lot.
the Dream is credited as a writer here on Spaghetti. So I'm not going to go through all the credits, but my point is, I just wanted to point out that on that specific song, it was Jay-Z for those who are confused. And that
Yeah,
will
she
be
doesn't
relevant. That will be
write a lot
relevant
of
when we
music.
continue this conversation and when we get to the end of this album. Um,
Yeah, I saw somebody ask that. Also, there was this guy. I don't know who he is, honestly, and I don't remember his name, but he was listening to the music and reacting to it. Um, online. He's an older guy now. I think he has some sort of connection to music. I just didn't know who he was. But that was one of the things that people were asking him. Well, why is it that Beyonce doesn't write her own music?
Oh,
Do y'all write music? I just want to know.
well, okay, let me address that because that's a fair question from a fan.
I guess.
Most No, it's true. Most singers today and for the last 30 years do not write all of their music by themselves. They have co-writers and they have songs that they straight up did not write at all.
Right.
And so if you don't know that, that will be a surprise to you. For example, when I watched the Whitney Houston biopic, I was shocked to learn she didn't write any of her music. I didn't know that she wasn't a writer. I thought, man, she got to write some of these songs. No, she was not writing her music. They showed it. She's like, I'll just perform the shit out of the songs that connect to me. But I didn't know that. And so, as somebody who is a Whitney Houston fan, for me not to know that, I wanted to say, hey, shame on you. What's wrong with you? How you didn't know that? So I understand people saying, hey, how come Beyonce doesn't write her music? Now, Beyonce does write her music. There are plenty of songs that Beyonce has written alone. But there are
Yeah.
lots and lots of songs, probably your favorite songs, she did not write most of, or maybe she didn't write any of. And this is what happens. And so there are ghostwriters, there are songwriters who you work well with and you want to continue to work with. And sometimes,
That's
especially when you're doing cross genre music like Beyonce does, you want to tap in with both parties. The person you do have a good relationship with and who understands how to help you get your ideas out and to the forefront. But also, you want to tap into someone from the genre that you're entering to say, hey, I don't really write raps to techno music. If a producer approached me
right.
about doing a techno album, I might need to talk to someone who writes techno songs.
That
They
makes sense.
might write a chorus, they might write half a verse. In rap, this is a little different, but someone as big a star as Beyonce, who does cross genre music, yes, a lot of their music is written by other people or co written by other people. This is not new. Um, but people were saying she wrote the rap, and that's why I was like, all right, I need to know that. I need the people to know that it's Jay-Z writing the raps.
I've never known.
Um, and listen, to be clear, I ain't mad at her. If my significant other was one of the best in the world at a thing, yeah, when I go to do the thing, I'm probably gonna ask them, hey, if I'm married to the woman that makes the best mac and cheese on the planet, award-winning mac and cheese, anytime somebody asks me to make mac and cheese, I'm probably not making it at all. I'm
Right.
probably going to say, hey, babe, I know this is annoying, but if I buy this stuff, will you make that fly ass mac and cheese? I've got to take food to a function.
Right. No,
That's not, it's not too weird, in my opinion.
I
In
don't think
fact,
it's strange
I
at
think,
all. I wouldn't think it's strange if she wasn't married to a rapper and a rapper wrote her raps. Still wouldn't be strange. Like that's
right,
just she's not a rapper. And I know that the Beehive wants to make her that. Like the Beehive loves to say like she's the best rapper and this and but she's actually not a rapper. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not shade. That's just fact. So it's okay that someone else writes her raps. There's nothing wrong with that. It's totally fine. I just, it's like I always talk about where people kind of like it's the idolatry that happens with certain artists, especially with Beyonce. She gets put on this like superhuman pedestal, and so we can't think there. It's so hard for people to think that she didn't do something.
right.
Yeah, it's
And I'm
kind
not,
of ridiculous. But
and you should use the resources you have. So if she has resources like The Dream and Neo and
yeah.
Jay-Z, I would use them too. Shit.
They make beautiful music together. Why not?
Beautiful
And
music.
listen, Tyler Perry could take some advice from Beyonce because sometimes you gotta let people into the writer's room.
All right. Well, let me just wrap up here and then you can tell us your thoughts. I thought the album was good. I thought the album was balanced, and I love when albums are balanced. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times we listen to something and it is all the way, all the way one sound. This had different sounds,
Yeah.
different vocal ability was shown on these songs. Um different topics. It wasn't all the same topics,
Yeah.
different sounds. And so yes, we spoke in the beginning about how there's multiple genres in this project. I thought that was cool. I could totally see what you said, just to agree with you. I could totally see some of these songs. If you took out the country beat and put an R&B beat, it would sound just as great. Um, and so I think that's really cool. The last thing I'll say is I thought it was really fly that she incorporated the features that she did. Somebody I know who does listen to country music was telling me a little bit about the features. And there's one person on a couple of songs. Let me see if I could pronounce this weird name they have. No disrespect. I'm just not familiar with this. That you know it. You knew the one I was going to. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah,
That's the way you say it. But...
Shabuzi. You know, Shabuzi is in country, and apparently they are popular with rappers. So they are on other rappers' projects. I
Okay.
thought it was cool that she tapped them. Um, you know, it was interesting seeing Post Malone there. I've heard a lot of his music has a country feel or is country to some people. I don't listen to Post Malone, but I thought that was smart and cool of her. And I really like the song with Miley Cyrus. You came up here and spoke about how you hope she will be with Miley Cyrus. Oh no, that was on your solo podcast, Hardly Minding My Business. You said you hope that she taps Miley Cyrus for a feature. Then you came on here and confirmed it. And not only were you correct, but it's really good. I like that song. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there were actually not many songs that I would skip. Like even looking at the track list right now, although it was long, it wasn't boring. There were not many songs that I was like, ew, why is this here? Turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, and people may disagree with me, I just wish that the not country songs were not there. Like, I think it would have been cool if there were not the dance records and the records that clearly she just had fun and did whatever she wanted. Um, I think if you remove those songs and this is 20 or 22 or 21 songs, it's just as good. I don't think those songs were needed. If I have to be nitpicky, I would say take those out. But I don't have a real problem with those either, to be honest. I don't really need to hear Beyonce rap, but I didn't dislike Beyonce rapping. She did a great job. Again, her cadence, her flow, her delivery, it was good. She was saying cool stuff on there. She was talking that shit, as they say. Um, and also, one criticism, I don't need Dolly Parton and Willie Nelson to tell me the definition of a genre and that nobody should be sticking to genres because genres are fake definition. I don't listen. Just make your music. We don't need that. Just it's a Beyonce album. It's a great album. Just
Well,
make a great album. I didn't need that. Hold on. Let me just wrap up and you go.
okay.
I
Well,
didn't I didn't need that. The same way
we
I
can try to
didn't
have a
need
conversation.
the same way I didn't need the Instagram post. I didn't need that either. That's really my only complaint. I just didn't like that. I did not like. I'm like, all right, this take this out of here. So yeah, that about the genre thing, I didn't need that. Willie Nelson doing fake radio, I thought was really cool. Making it like a Beyonce radio station. I dug all of that. All of that was cool to me. I think this was a cool album. I would definitely listen to this album again, even though I already heard it twice in the couple days it's been out. Um, I don't know if I have a favorite song because it was a lot of music. Maybe over time, I'll have a favorite, but I enjoyed most of this. So any of these songs that come on when I'm somewhere or that come on shuffle mode when I start adding it to my many playlists, I'd be cool with hearing it. I didn't have any many songs that I didn't like. One funny thing before I shut up,
Mm-hmm.
um, I was not ready for the river, what is it called, river dance song with Beyonce saying "Ride That Dick with No Hands" and my daughter sitting right next to me. I wasn't ready for that, but that's my fault as a parent for not listening first. I don't blame Beyonce, but it was really funny because she says that a lot on that record, and my daughter was sitting right next to me, and I was like, "Oh, hey, so maybe skip this one next time we listen together," you know?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. All right, you go.
Okay. Like I want to respond to some of the things you said, but now I think I've forgotten some of it. Um.
Feel free to respond, but we really want to know what you think.
Well,
about
I
the
want
album.
to have dialogue. I want to have a conversation. We're doing a podcast here. So, I just want to be able to talk to you about the things that you said.
Well, you went to cut me off when I said I didn't like Dolly Parton and Willie Nelson talking about genres. What's the definition of a genre? We shouldn't be trying to follow genres, blah, blah.
Well, do you think she did that because of the backlash she's saying she received when she tried to, you know, be a part of that world in terms of country music? And I think when she references 5 years ago, I think it was a performance she did at the CMAs, where she was not received well. I don't know exactly what might have been said or what she experienced when she wasn't on stage, but I wonder if she purposely used them as a vehicle to kind of say to everyone, like, this shouldn't matter. Like, I should be able to make this music and all of that shouldn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter that I'm Beyonce and I make pop music or I make R&B music. I should still be able to come into this lane and make country music. I should still be able to sing country music and it not be such a problem for you. I think that's the point that she was trying to make. I think it definitely had a message, among other things, but I think that was one of the messages. It was like, well, there's no reason that I can't be in this space. And so I kind of feel like the Willie Nelson and the Dolly Parton genre talk was her trying to assert that idea that it shouldn't matter, and that genre bending um is okay. Like, there's no reason why, you know, she can't do country, or there's no reason why a country artist can't do whatever. I don't want to start naming genres and then make people mad, but um I thought that that was what that was. Um I'm not saying you should like it any more than you did, but but I just wanted to speak to that because I feel like that's kind of, it now makes sense. It, to me, that on the album speaks to the post that she did. I understand her post a little bit more today because I know we spoke about it before the album came out. um I still think that she should have stood in it and just called it a country album, um but yeah, I think that this was her way of kind of saying, well, look, if the greats are saying that it's ain't no thing, like, I can be here, there's no reason why I can't be in this space. Like, what is your problem with it? Feel like that was more that.
I
And
feel like I feel like it was a reach. I feel
what
like
I,
you're Beyonce. Why? Because she's Beyonce. She's not going through the struggles that a random person who's black would go through or does go through when they put out a country project. Like
I agree
Mooney
with you.
Long spoke about it,
I
and
was just about to bring up Money Long.
yeah, like she spoke about it, and like it's not you're not going through that as Beyonce. Are you gonna get some backlash? Sure, but Beyonce is still gonna be Beyonce regardless, which is what I was saying weeks ago before the album came out,
Right.
before Money Long spoke. Like, it's Beyonce. It's gonna sell. It's gonna break
Of course.
records. It immediately was number one and number two when she dropped the first two records simultaneously. And now, and this proves my point. Sorry to jump the gun here. I know we were going to talk about it after, but now you have the number one streamed album on Spotify in 2024. It's a country album. You're Beyonce. That's why it happened. If me and you make the Weeknights Presents Country album, it's not going to go number one. We're going to deal with all the struggles that everyone who's black goes through when they try to do a country album. But
Right.
Beyonce doesn't go through that because she's Beyonce. Does she have some backlash? Yes. Does she have some struggles? Yes. but not on the same level as people who are nobodies and are trying to do this, or people who are up and coming and are trying to do this. It's super different. So you don't have to say, as Beyonce, hey, I'm going to do this, but I don't want to hear backlash. Or, hey, I hear your backlash, but, I'm not going to let it bring me down. Girl, you're Beyonce. You're going to go number one. You're going to break records. They're going to ask you to come to the CMAs. You probably finally going to win album of the year. It's not the same. You don't need to do this.
Right. I'm not disputing anything that you're saying. I'm just saying I think that's where she was
So,
coming from. That's to me seemed like the message that she was trying to send. Um, but I agree with you, and I was going to bring up the money long thing to say that I think that perhaps Beyonce it's clear that Beyonce has insecurities. I said that when we first talked about the post that she did. It's clear that she has, just like any other artist, she has insecurities about her work. She's a little sensitive about her work. I think that showed in that post. Other people didn't see it that
her
way,
music, she says it.
but that's how I took it. And uh, but what I will say is, after watching Money Long talk about it on the Breakfast Club, and she talked about how she did a country album some years ago and it was not received well. And she also talked about other artists, a bunch of other of artists that black artists that have done country music and have not been received well. And she made the point that, Beyonce's great and she loves Beyonce too, just like everyone else does, but Beyonce will not experience that struggle that a lot of people will experience. It's to the point where Money Long was like, I don't know if I would ever put out country music again. Like, she was like, I'm an R&B girl and that's it. Now, so what I did want to say about that is that, all things considered, I think that Beyonce does come from a place of privilege where she she is going to chart no matter what she puts out.
Yeah.
She could have put out trash and
Yeah.
nobody would have called it trash.
Yeah.
Again, her album was released, and 15 minutes later, people were quoting the songs that just came out on the album. Like, there's a clear difference between her and other Black country artists. What I will say is, knowing that she is coming from a place of privilege, what I do appreciate about her is the fact that she does highlight other artists. She did, I know, on the song Blackbird. Blackbird is a remake of a Beatles song that Paul McCartney wrote, where I just learned that it was about Black women. So he said it wasn't it. Blackbird actually stands for means Black women, and so he wrote about Black women and their struggles. And what she did was she sang it and then she put Black country artists on the vocals. So one thing that I thought was cool, and I know, we're sticking to our review and whatever, but I did see a couple of the women who were featured on her album. They were doing reactions to them hearing it for the first time once the album got released. I thought that was amazing and super cool. These are people that I would have never even thought to look up or know anything about. I thought that was incredible that she gave them a platform in that way, and hopefully good things come from that. I think that Beyonce is really meticulous and really careful about um amplifying Black voices,
Yes.
and because of that, I'm trying to allow her grace to be sensitive about her music, because I think that at the end of the day, she does care about other Black artists. I think she does care whether they get their shine as well. And it's not just music artists. She's done this with people who create visual art and, you know,
Yeah.
people who dance. And so, I think it's such a beautiful thing. And I'll, you know, this will kind of launch into my review. I think it's such a beautiful thing what she does, and the way that she thinks about these things. And oh, this was written by a Black country artist, so this is why she sang this song, and this song is written about Black women, so this is why she sang this song, and this is why the vocals are Black female vocals. I, I to me, learning some of the nuances of the album made it even more special for me. Um, I don't know what it's supposed to sound like to the country purists. I don't know any of that, but I did enjoy listening to it. I think I was excited about it from the beginning, so maybe I already had some bias there before I listened, but I really enjoyed it. I think if I had to pick a song, first of all, Miley Cyrus and Beyonce, I, I've wanted that. The moment she said she was doing a country album, that is all I could talk about with people. I'm like, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be cool if, I don't know if she would ever do this, but wouldn't it be cool if she did a song with Miley Cyrus? Because I've always thought that Miley Cyrus was amazing. And I'm not talking about Hannah Montana shit. I'm talking about like, if you ever get the opportunity to watch Miley Cyrus Unplugged, Miley Cyrus, that was when I guess she was trying to like transition back into country. And so most of it was like very country leaning. Dolly Parton actually came on, and I think they sang Jolene in that the same show. I loved it. And again, I don't know anything about country music. I don't know what it's supposed to sound like, but I just knew. I just knew that like Beyonce's sound and Miley's sound, Miley's raspy voice, I just knew that like they would have chemistry. I just I don't know why, but that was something that I wanted. So really excited about that song. I think I don't think that's my favorite song. I really like Bodyguard. I thought Bodyguard was really cool. I like Riverdance because I just think Riverdance is a fun song. And I agree with you. I think the album is very balanced, but I enjoyed that there were moments where I'm kind of like listening and walking around the house, but I'm also dancing. I love that. I think if an album can make me dance on the first listen, I'm good to listen to it again. Um, so yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about it. I appreciate the features. I know Linda Martell is another country artist who was featured on the album. You know, Dolly Parton is on there. And you talked about Willie Nelson. Um, I I just thought it was really skillfully done. I don't know. For me, I can only go off of what I heard and what I enjoyed, and I didn't have a problem with any of it. Um, I would listen to it again for sure. You know, and I don't know. Maybe by the next album, I'll be in the Beehive. Who knows? I just thought it was really interesting to listen to, and maybe it's because I don't listen to anything like that. So I was just really intrigued by it and thought it was really interesting. And I was like, well, am I missing something? Like, should I have been listening to country this whole time? Because this to me it makes it sounds interesting, and it um her range too. I don't ever really speak about her range, but her range is so clear when you listen to a body of work from her.
Yeah.
She makes sure she lets you know she go high, she go low. She
And that's
go
part of
wherever
what I
she needs
mean.
to go.
And that's part of what I mean about it being balanced. Like, that's not easy to do. This is almost 30 songs.
Yeah.
It's easy to say, I'm going to do 30 songs of hardcore hip hop, or I'm going to do 30 songs of techno, or I'm going
Yeah.
to do 30 songs that are very much, you know, 80s dance music or whatever. It's easier to do that and stay laser focused on one sound or one topic. Like, oh, I'm going to make an entire heartbreak album. Cool. It's hard as hell to do 30 songs almost of balance in topics, sound,
Mhm.
vocal range. The list goes on. That's not easy. That's why I said, like, to me, that was really impressive.
Yeah. And there was even music dedicated to her kids, which I thought was cool too.
Mhm.
So, yeah, all in all, I mean, listen, I thought it was great. I personally liked it better than Renaissance. I
Okay.
know we're not here to compare, but I did like it better than Renaissance. Just wasn't my cup of tea. But this I really, really enjoyed and would totally listen to it again. Also, my last thought is the singles that she released. I liked hearing it within the album.
Yeah.
I felt like that enhanced the experience hearing it, especially 16 Carriages. I felt, I don't know, something about hearing 16 Carriages nestled in between other songs on the album made me like 16 Carriages even more.
Right.
So, yeah.
I'm trying to pull it up. Uh, that reminded me, Bodyguard. Yeah. I kept wondering as I was listening to the first couple songs, what was gonna follow up Texas Hold'em? Like, Texas Hold'em is clearly a great bouncy record that makes
Mhm.
you want to move and dance and all those things. And I kept wondering, what is the next song gonna sound like whenever I get to Texas Hold'em?
Yeah.
And when I heard Bodyguard, I was not mad at all. I said that was a great follow up. That
Yeah.
was a great place to put that next song.
Her transitions are great.
Yeah.
That's something
Let's
she never has an issue with.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed hearing the songs in the album, like as one played before and then one played after. I was like, oh,
Yeah. They
okay,
did
I
a
see
great
what
job
she
with
did there.
sequencing.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's rumors that the next album is a rock album. There's rumors that the next album is a rap album. What do you think? And what would you like it to be?
Oh, another song that I liked really fast, and this kind of makes me think of what genre is next. Yaya. I felt like Yaya she sounded very Tina Turner on Yaya, and I love that.
Gotcha.
I know she's inspired by Tina Turner. She talks about Tina Turner all the time, but I was listening to it and I could like see Tina Turner as I was walking around. But anyway, so that being said, I don't want I don't want a Beyonce rap album.
Okay.
Sorry, I just don't want one. I don't care.
Uh, That's okay.
Um, I would prefer Beyonce rock album.
I was hoping you would say the opposite because I feel the same way. I feel like rap, especially because Jay-Z's her husband and he'll just write all these super fly raps. I feel like rap will be super easy for her. I
Yeah,
feel like it wouldn't be a challenge. She would knock it out the park, and
yeah, she didn't do it well.
Jay Z wouldn't let her put out any, subpar shit, especially if he's writing the raps. So yeah, she could do it, and it probably would be fire, but
Mhm.
I don't think that's exciting. Nah, I
No,
think, I think Beyonce with a band, rocking out, letting her hair down, both metaphorically and literally. I think that is exciting, interesting, and different. But Beyonce rapping, nah, I'm not excited about that.
that's why I'm saying listen to Yaya again when you get a chance. I feel like that alludes to some rock. Like I could hear it when I heard that song. I was like, I could totally hear her doing a rock album. Like, and I hope it's a rock album because it's just interesting. And I think that one thing that we talked about and we talked about last year, and we haven't spoken about it so much this year, but we talked about it a lot last year when we were doing that other pod, and we
Right.
talked about how um, music was kind of stale. You know, black music was kind of stale. Hip hop specifically was struggling. Like we weren't seeing any hip hop number ones for a long time. It was just kind of cold. And I'm not saying I want a hip hop album. Like I said, I just said I don't care to I don't care to get a whole rap album from her. But a rock. I just think it's so interesting. The same way a country album is so interesting, a dance album is so interesting.
Right.
Defy the genre they try to put you in. Like defy the box they put you in, and go beyond hip hop. I like we could get that another time. If she wants to do a rap album at some point, that's fine. I wouldn't put it past her. But I just think rock would be so interesting, and I think she does have the range and she does have the sound
Yeah.
to do a fire rock album
Yeah.
that we all can enjoy. So,
Agreed.
and that's why I'm saying maybe by Act 3, maybe I'll be a card carrying member. Who knows?
Carter. That's funny.
But
Nigga
yeah,
said Democrat, Independent, Republican,
Beehive.
Beyonce.
Right. Right. I don't know. I've grown a greater appreciation for her when I think about how much attention to detail there is, and I think about how much she cares about Black women, and how much it matters to her to showcase that.
Yeah.
I I teared up a little bit when I was thinking about the album earlier. It just kind of I was listening to it and I was thinking about what I was gonna say when we spoke about it, and I was just like the fact that like I get it. I get that she does come from a place of privilege at this point, but she's still so tapped in. She's still thinking about us.
Yeah.
And that means something to me.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
So,
thing.
ooh, it's hard being a Black girl out here. So, I don't know why I'm crying. It makes me emotional. It does, because I just feel like there's plenty of people who don't think of that or don't care or whatever. But yeah, so I appreciate her for this. I really do. I do. So rock album, right? We're team rock album.
Yes, totally.
Gonna rock out with our knots out. I won't say the other word.
Right.
Jay-Z says knots, so
Yep.
can't wear skinny jeans because my knots don't fit.
Yeah.
But how big are Jay-Z? No.
And he wears skinny jeans, so it's a lie.
Of course it's a lie.
Yeah, he wears skinny jeans. One of
Well,
the many
also,
Jay-Z lies, but this is not about Jay-Z. So
like how big
let's
could you not? Okay,
let's wrap this up.
they're not like that. Doesn't make it didn't make sense.
It
Anyway,
does make sense. Skinny jeans don't have the biggest pockets.
no, I know. I'm joking because I'm like, but okay.
But it was a lie.
It
We've
was a
seen him in
reality.
lots of skinny jeans.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So shout out to Beyonce.
Yes. And shout out to y'all for listening to this hour-long episode.
This was not
And
supposed to.
nope. But it was. And we hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We will see y'all tomorrow night.
Bye.